So what's the deal with WrestleCon 2025, you ask? Well, stick around, and I'll tell you. I'll just tell you. All you had to do was ask.
Watch Hedgehog's action, bitches.
That's right, baby. I am back, and I'm back this time to talk about Wrestlecon 2025. So what exactly is Wrestlecon? Well, as the name might suggest, it's a convention for fans of professional wrestling. And while there are some similarities between a convention such as Wrestlecon and like a toy convention or a Comic-Con, for example, there are some important differences too. While Wrestlecon will have a room or some vendors with wrestling action figures and tons of wrestling memorabilia, the focus is really on the wrestlers and wrestling personalities in attendance. It becomes something of a scavenger hunt for the wrestling fans in attendance as they try to get the autographs from and pictures with their favorite wrestlers and wrestling personalities. It is a commercial event for the wrestlers, so you do pay for the autographs, you do pay for the photos, and WrestleCon advertises who's going to be in attendance at the convention beforehand, so you can sort of plan out who you're trying to get. And you do have to plan it out because the most popular wrestlers oftentimes will have lines that can take a while to get through in order to get that special autograph or to get that special photo. And WrestleCon is typically held in the same city where there's a major wrestling event going on. So, for example, this year, SummerSlam was in New Jersey, and I was in attendance. As you can see, I was there.
Oh my god!
But because SummerSlam was going to be in New Jersey, so was WrestleCon. I also attended WrestleCon 2024, which was held in Philadelphia because WrestleMania was going to be held in Philadelphia. And man, it was such a really cool experience. The highlight had to be when I had a pro photo taken with Sting, one of the most iconic wrestlers of all time. It was super cool, and he was really, really cool when I met him for like the 4 seconds that I got to talk to him while we are taking our photo. So that was a great experience. But that wasn't it. I also got to meet some other cool wrestlers like Red Velvet, Matt Cardona, Deonna Purrazzo, and Anna Jay. And the whole thing was awesome because I was hanging out with my buddy Mark Silver, and we just had an absolute blast. And I said, if I ever had a chance to go again, I definitely would. Which brings us to WrestleCon 2025, which, as I said, was right in New Jersey at the Newark Airport Marriott. This time, as I said, I was going to SummerSlam, and I was going on Saturday night with my buddy Aaron, who I grew up with down in South Jersey, and then on Sunday, I took my son Chase. WrestleCon was the Friday and Saturday of that weekend, and my buddy Aaron drove up, stayed in the hotel, and we hung out at WrestleCon on both Friday and Saturday. So before WrestleCon, I made out my plan that there was a few wrestlers I really wanted to get pictures with or autographs from. I really wanted to meet Will Ospreay, one of my favorite wrestlers in the world right now, Tony Storm, Bret the Hitman Hart, and Harley Cameron. Bret Hart was special because the Hart Foundation were my favorite tag team growing up, and Bret himself is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And I wanted to get a photograph with him if I could, and I had a figure that I wanted him to sign if I had the opportunity. I also wanted to get an autograph with Will Ospreay, but I didn't have an Ospreay figure. That's kind of a cool story because I went online to try to get one ahead of time and couldn't find one from any of the online retailers, so I had to go to eBay and just pray that it showed up on time. Well, luckily it did. The figure arrived on the morning of day one of WrestleCon, just in the nick of time. So yes, what that means is I was able to meet Will Ospreay. I was able to take that photo with him. And yes, I got my Will Ospreay figure autographed by Will Ospreay. How freaking cool, bruv. That's right, bruv. That's right, bruv. Ospreay probably had the longest line of the Friday show that I saw, but I also got to meet Harley Cameron. That was really cool. And Aaron and I chilled out at the convention all day.
Watch Hedgehog's action, bitches.
One thing I should mention that's so cool about when WrestleCon is at like a hotel, if you get to stay at the hotel, I would very much recommend doing so. Because Aaron and I had a couple of meals in that hotel on Friday and Saturday. And the coolest thing is the wrestlers are just hanging out. Like you're hanging out, having a meal, and like Kevin Nash walks in, or like Jake the Snake Roberts, or, you know, the APA walks in, and they're just kind of like hanging out. Well, then we moved to day 2. So day 2 was Saturday, and that was the only day Bret Hart was going to be there. And while Tony Storm was supposed to be there on Friday and Saturday, one of her flights got delayed, so she was only there on Saturday. I was able to see Tony Storm, but her line was definitely the longest of the weekend, I would say. I waited in a line that was upwards of maybe like an hour to meet Toni Storm. Finally made it all the way through, though. Got the autograph from Toni Storm and got the photo with Toni Storm and the AEW Women's World title, which was freaking awesome. For my money, Toni Storm is doing some of the best character work that's ever been done in professional wrestling. And that's of all time. I'm not talking about a particular era. Men, women, doesn't matter. She's doing some of the best character work of all time. She is absolutely awesome. And it was super dope to meet her and grab that picture. But part of the issue was because I was so invested in Toni, it took up a lot of my time there. Like I said, I waited in line for like an hour. And that very much put my chances of meeting Bret Hart in jeopardy. Like I said before, meeting Bret Hart was a really big deal to me. And part of it is I don't know when I'll get that chance again or if I'll ever get that chance again. Bret is one of the ones that I did pay for ahead of time. I paid for a pro photo op with Bret the Hitman Hart, thinking, good, I've got that in the can. No need to worry about it. But an issue arose because when I paid for the pro photo op, there was no like time or schedule or anything on the confirmation email. There was no scheduler times that were listed on the Wrestlecon website, at least that I could identify. And I figured, well, I don't know really how they're doing it. And sometimes they'll do the pro photos different from convention to convention. And I'll just figure it out when I got there. So when I got there on Saturday, I went to the place where they were doing the pro photos at, looked at the schedule that was actually posted then outside of the room, and Bret wasn't on it. So I found a representative, talked to them, and they were like, oh yeah, the Bret Hart photo ops, they were early this morning. And I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean they were early this morning? They're like, yeah, it was early this morning. And I'm like, well, I paid for one. So what happens now? And they're like, oh, I guess you missed it. And I was like, well, how was I supposed to know what time it was? They're like, oh, we sent you an email. I'm like, well, I got the email, but there's no time on it. Here's the email here. But I don't know. I thought I was pretty much out of luck. I was pretty disappointed about that. We continued to hang out, though, at the wrestling convention. It was cool. We got a picture with Mina Shirakawa. And then towards the end of the day on Saturday, when things are kind of winding down and the place is starting to empty out because it gets really crowded during the day. You know, I normally try to do live streams at the conventions I go to give the people who don't have a chance to go to the convention sort of an idea or a flavor of what it's like to be there, to see the sights and hear the sounds of the convention. That's a lot tougher to do at WrestleCon, I found, because there's so many lines at all the different tables, so many people, and there's such a crowd. It would be tough to really move around and give people a good look at the convention. I waited till the end of day 2 when it was emptying out, and that's when I, hopped on a little live stream to kind of walk around the convention and at least give people an idea of what the layout was like, if the experience of being there in the throes of mid-convention was already gone. We walked into one of the 2 big ballrooms, and it was emptying out, like I said, and near the end of one side, I see 2 tables, one of which is Kurt Angle, the other one is freaking Bret the Hitman Hart, and he's got like 4 people in front of his table. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, wait a minute. There's like a couple people in front of his table. What's going on? Did they cut it off? What happened? I assumed the line for Bret would be like out of the door and down the hallway, and it would be impossible to get through. I mean, when we got there on Saturday, or when I got there on Saturday and met Aaron, there were a couple of lines that were like wrapping through the different hallways, and Sting was there that day. So I think one of the lines was for Sting, and somebody was like, well, another one's probably for Bret. And that's how crowded it can get. Like, you can walk around the whole convention and not really see everything. And in a hotel like that, sometimes they'll take some of the more popular wrestlers and put them in another like room or conference room, a couple hallways away from the big ballrooms to kind of spread the people out. But there he was. Bret Hart was sitting there at his table, so I went right up and I couldn't believe it. And the way they have it set up is you don't talk to the wrestler first. There's typically like a handler or somebody that works for the convention or something like that at the table, and you talk to them first about like, what do you want a photo? Do you want an autograph? Do you want both, etc.? And to pay if you didn't pay. So I go up to the guy and I was like, listen, man, I paid for a pro photo op. I missed the time slot because I had no idea when it was. Is there any way you could still honor that and I could get the photo here at the table? And the guy was super cool. He was like, yeah, we've been hearing that a lot, so I don't know what happened with them posting the times or whatever. I can honor the photo that you paid for, and you can get the photo here at the table. If you want an autograph, you'd have to pay for that separately. And I was like, dude, totally cool, because the pro photo didn't cover an autograph anyway. And I didn't end up even actually paying for the autograph because my buddy Aaron paid for me. Thanks, Aaron. You rule, brother. So yeah, I got the photo with Bret Hart, got to meet Bret the Hitman Hart, and bang, heck yeah, I got the autographed Bret the Hitman Hart. How freaking cool is that? Definitely going up on the wall. I love this figure, man. This is a Mattel Creations Bret Hart. It came in a 2-pack set with Jim the Anvil Neidhart, done in like the old LJN Big Rubber Wrestler style from back in the day. So, but it is a modern figure. I just got it this year, but I just thought it looked so cool. The presentation was awesome, and I already had it. So fantastic, man. So mission accomplished. Met Tony Storm, met Will Ospreay, met Harley Cameron, got pictures with all of them, got the autographs on the figures, met Mina Shirakawa, got a photograph with her, and got to hang out with my buddy Aaron at a wrestling convention. So there you go. That's my little verbal rundown of Wrestlecon 2025. Freaking cool. Then later that same night, Aaron and I went to night 1 of SummerSlam. So how dope is that, man?
Oh my God!
So for any wrestling fans out there, I highly recommend you going to check it out. It's cool, man. It can get expensive, but you can control your cost because it's cheap to get in. I think it was like the tickets were like 20 or 20 bucks or something like that, maybe 30 for the weekend. And then you can decide what you want. How many photographs do you want? Maybe there's just one that you want. Maybe there's just one autograph. Maybe you want to go to some of the wrestlers that don't have lines at their tables and maybe they're a little bit cheaper. Maybe you just want to walk around. Point is, you can control your costs and kind of put together the day that you want to have. So what's next is the video from that live stream that I did at the end of the day on Saturday. So this way you still get a little look after you've heard me kind of tell the stories and talk about it a little bit. Now you'll get to see what it looked like in the convention rooms, at least at the end of the day, again, when it was really emptying out. But check it out. Here's a quick look at WrestleCon 2025. WrestleCon, New Jersey. We can take a walk around here. So guys, we are at WrestleCon, New Jersey. It's winding down, day 2 right now. Figured I'd bring you a little bit of a wrestling convention. Much different than a toy convention, guys. Much different. Whereas a toy convention, very much more of a, what's up, man? More of like a relaxed atmosphere, checking out the different toys, you know, unless you are, you know, at SDCC and if there's crazy exclusives or something like that. Wrestling convention is different. It's very much like a scavenger hunt, and you're basically running to try to get to the tables you want to get any pictures or photographs that you'd want. We've got Jushin Thunder Liger, Great Muta, Sonny Ono, Tony Storm is over there. Trust me, she's over there. And we hit up the Tony Storm table earlier, and that wait was probably about an hour. Jake the Snake rolling by. Mina Shirakawa is here. Billy Gunn. Victoria. So this is like the main room. This is the main room. And it's really clearing out now. This whole room was jam-packed with people earlier. Pretty wild. The 2 biggest lines I saw all weekend were definitely Will Ospreay, which I waited in yesterday. What was Ospreay, Aaron? More like, oh look, JBL coming through. About an hour yesterday. About an hour. Ospreay was about an hour. Tony Storm was about an hour today. But Bret Hart, there was like no wait. The Dudley Boys. Devon's there right now. A little action Andretti action. Danhausen is here. Abdullah the Butcher, all-time great honky tonk man. Danhausen subscribing to Hedgehog Action, no doubt. So over here, Matt, there are some tables that have figures and stuff. So these are. Oh look, this is Steph DeLanda right here. What are these, like GCW figures? Buff Bagwell type figure. I don't know if those are knockoffs or what. But yeah, there's Cardona. The Godfather's in the house. Oh, there's Megan Bain. Megan Bain is here today. This is where Harley Cameron was yesterday. There's the Godfather. Hope Train. Beep beep. Mark Henry's in the house. He'll be at a Sweet Chin Disco. What's up, man? What's going on, dude? Oh, sweet.
Action and Leo just hanging out.
Action and Leo both just hanging out. Yep, they're trying to get some photos. So here's how it works. Legit how it works is the wrestlers are here. This is a commercial event for the wrestlers, right? So they have different prices if you want a photo or an autograph or a combo. And so yeah. So you sort of pick out, try to meet your favorites. There's Shotzi Blackheart, Chris Bay, Raj Desai, aka Jinder Mahal, Rhino, Gore. RVD Rob Van Dam was here just a second ago. Jacqueline and Chavo Guerrero. There's some more, oh, this is kind of cool. Here, let's check this out real quick. Excuse me, Biddy. Check this out. Cool little light up. Hey, Damian Blake, I'm gonna need that light up Bret Hart thing. All kinds of cool figures, bunch of signed figures. How much would that Hart light be? 80. Oh, buy one get one free. Oh shit, guys. That Nitro one is cool. The Hart one is dope. Woo. Buy one get one free on the signs. Oh, RVD is back. Slide. Excuse me, buddy. Right there. Waiting for Aaron to come over now. So this is my buddy Aaron, guys. We grew up together, one of my best friends in the world. First time at any kind of convention like this. Right? What are your thoughts?
It's been a blast.
Would you do it again?
I would.
You would?
I would.
What about like a nerd convention, like toy convention, the other stuff that I do?
That's maybe a reach, but if you were there, I'd probably check it out.
There you go. He's coming. Next one, he's coming. All right. Final walkthrough here. The Good Brothers are in the house. I'll tell you what, guys.
I think Bully left.
Yeah. I didn't know how big he was, dude.
Bully's huge.
Yeah, he's huge. This is Tito Santana, but I don't see Tito Santana. Yeah, so that's it. Winding down to the end of Wrestlecon here. So one of the cool things, too, I would say is, so we were here yesterday and Aaron and I grabbed some dinner sort of like at the end of the day.
This is your last and final call for Shayna Baszler. If you have a photo op with Shayna Baszler, this is your last and final call.
Yeah, so
we are also lining up for Shotzi Blackheart. If you have a photo op with Shotzi Blackheart,
I do not. So yeah, so we're eating dinner in like the hotel restaurant there. And like there's all these wrestlers just hanging out, walking in, like JBL was in and out. Ron Simmons came in and out. That's what I forgot. I forgot to bring my Ron Simmons figure.
Yeah.
Damn it. All right, I'm about to try that again. But it's cool. You got Kevin Nash is here. Kurt Angle is here. The greatest of all time, Bret Hart is here. Excellence of execution. Carlito's in the house. Luger, Hardy Boys. Jeff Lord.
The TNA tag team titles.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Oh, should I do that? Nah. So I think my main things that I wanted to do here, guys, for this WrestleCon, was I wanted to get a picture with Tony, Okada, Ospreay, and Bret. That was my main goals. So we got that. We did all of that. And I got Okada to say something cool on video you guys will see later. And I got a picture with Mina Shirakawa. So I think we win today, guys. So yeah, that's just kind of a quick walk around. It's tough to do a live stream at a wrestling convention because there were so many people here earlier that in this main ballroom there was like no reception whatsoever, none. No, you're good, man. You're good. There's Tekla. Tekla's killing it right now. There's Mina. We saw Mina before. Yeah, I think Brandy split. Brandy is gone. Brandy Rhodes was here earlier. Here's the last of Tony's line. The last of Tony's line. So, yeah. So, that's it. I think that's our little look around WrestleCon 2025. And so this is what it looks like at a wrestling convention, you guys. So down there they do the pro photos.
You do content and all that?
Yeah. So pro photos down there, and they have like a whole schedule and everything. So the crazy thing was today, I had a pro photo with Bret Hart, but I missed the time slot because I didn't know when it was. Like it wasn't on the ticket or anything like that. But luckily they honored it at Bret's table, so that was cool. So yeah, that's it. That's a wrestling convention. I guess we'll be signing off here. It's a real quick live. Hopefully you guys got a quick look at what it's like to be at WrestleCon. So, Sting's down there. Oh, want to take a walk down there? Yeah. Let's take a walk. Hold on, we're not gonna go yet. We're just gonna see if Sting's still here. He's probably gone, but figure we'll take a quick look. Are we closed? Hey. I assume they're gone by now. Yeah, it looks like it. Are they still down here?
I don't know.
Some look. This looks like a stock room of some kind. Yeah.
Right here, right? Yeah, it's over there.
I guess that's it. I don't know what door it was. Is it in here? Oh, this must have been right here. Yeah, it was probably right here. Oh, well, we tried. Quick look for Sting. I did meet Sting last year's WrestleCon, so that was cool. All right. There we go. All right. Here we go, guys. All right, let's sign off in front of a WrestleCon sign. Here we go. All right. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining me for a quick look at WrestleCon. Once we finally had some reception and could walk around real quick. Until next time, don't forget the #1 rule, which is be cool. Later. Hello. All right, we are live at WrestleCon, New Jersey. Oh yeah, there's the table. Wait, is that the line? Here we go. Wait.
That's fine.
Hold on a second. Is this the Bret Hart line?
So bang, there you have it. That's my little review of WrestleCon 2025. 2 thumbs up, 5-star matches all around. Super cool. Like I said, any wrestling fans, check it out. Next time there's a big wrestling event in your city, look up WrestleCon and see if they're having one. I think the next one that's scheduled is WrestleCon 2026 in Vegas in April, because that's where WrestleMania is happening next year. So check it out if you're going to Vegas anyway, or if you live nearby. And if you live in any city where there's a SummerSlam or something like that, Google WrestleCon. It might be coming around near you too, and you can check it out. If you do, let me know how it goes in the comments. Post some pictures. Holla at me. And until next time, don't forget the #1 rule, which is...
Watch Hedgehog's action, bitches.